Let me ask you something. If your vitamin D is low, your magnesium is inadequate, or your zinc is just barely acceptable, would fixing those deficiencies really move the needle for testosterone? In this video, we're going beyond surface level claims. We'll explore 9 supplements that men over 50 often hear about and discuss which ones have strong evidence, which are more speculative, and how each one might influence hormonal health. There's no product pitch here. I just honest reasoning, research, and clarity. But before we begin, let's agree on one thing. Supplements are tools, not magic. If your diet, sleep, exercise, and stress management are poor, no capsule will save you. But if your lifestyle is already strong, the right supplements can support your hormones, especially if you're correcting a real deficiency. 1. Vitamin D3. This is probably the most studied and relevant vitamin for men's health. As we age, we naturally get less sun exposure, and the body's ability to convert sunlight to active vitamin D declines. Several studies have shown that low vitamin D is correlated with lower testosterone. One particular study from Austria found that men who were deficient in vitamin D and corrected it saw their testosterone levels rise by up to 100 nanograms per deciliter. That's significant, but only if you were deficient to begin with. If your vitamin D is already in the optimal range, taking more won't push you further. The real takeaway? Know your levels and optimize. Don't overdose. 2. Magnesium. Magnesium plays a key role in more than 300 biochemical reactions, including those involved in nerve function, muscle contraction, and, yes, hormone regulation. Stress, poor diet, alcohol, and even aging can all deplete magnesium. If you're low, you might feel fatigued, anxious, or have poor sleep, all of which can hurt your testosterone. One study in older men showed that those who took magnesium had higher levels of free testosterone than those who didn't, likely due to better sleep and reduced inflammation. The magic isn't in magnesium itself. It's in fixing a deficiency that may be silently dragging you down. 3. Zinc. Zinc is a trace mineral, but it's absolutely essential for testosterone production. If your zinc is low, your body simply cannot produce testosterone effectively. Clinical trials have shown that zinc-deficient men who were supplemented for 6 weeks had a significant boost in testosterone, sometimes more than 50%. But going overboard doesn't help. Too much zinc can cause copper imbalance and even suppress immune function. This is a classic case of just enough being the sweet spot. 4. Borons. Not many people know about boron, but it's one of the most interesting trace minerals. Some studies suggest that boron lowers SHBG, or sex hormone binding globulin. Why does that matter? Because SHBG binds to testosterone and makes it inactive. So when SHBG drops, free testosterone rises, even if total testosterone stays the same. In one small study, men who took 6 milligrams of boron daily for a week showed a 28% increase in free testosterone and a reduction in SHBG. Is that universal? Number, but it's promising. Boron isn't a testosterone booster in the classic sense. It's more like a hormonal fine-tuner. 5. Ashwagandha. Now we're in the world of herbal adaptogens. Ashwagandha, especially standardized forms like KSM66 or Sensoril, has gained popularity for good reason. It reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that often suppresses testosterone. In men with chronic stress, cortisol can tank testosterone levels by interfering with signaling in the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Ashwagandha seems to help by blunting this cortisol effect. In one well-designed study, stressed men who took ashwagandha saw an increase in testosterone by about 15%, along with reduced anxiety. But again, quality matters. Generic ashwagandha powder might not give you the same benefit, and too much can blunt emotions or even dull motivation in sensitive individuals. 6. Tongkat Ali, Uricoma longifolia. This herb has long been used in Southeast Asia to promote male vitality. Some modern studies suggest it may help improve testosterone to estrogen ratios, especially in men with high SHBG or borderline hormone profiles. It may work by reducing SHBG and supporting the body's natural steroidogenesis, meaning your testes are more efficient at making testosterone from cholesterol. One study showed an increase of 100 to 200 nanograms per deciliter in some men, but It depends on extract quality, dosage, and individual biology. Look for versions that are standardized and third party tested. Cheap extracts might not contain the active ingredient urapeptides or uracominone, which are believed to be the real drivers. 7D aspartic acid, DAA. DAA is an amino acid involved in the release of luteinizing hormone LH, which in turn signals the testes to produce testosterone. Some studies have shown that DAA increases testosterone levels by 30 to 40% over 2 weeks, especially in men with low baseline levels. However, longer term studies suggest the effect may diminish over time, and DAA might even suppress testosterone in healthy men if used chronically. This makes DAA more of a short cycle or jumpstart supplement. Rather than something you use year round, it can work, but needs to be used intelligently and with caution. 8. Fenugreek extract. Fenugreek is another herb often included in testosterone booster formulas. Standardized extracts containing furostenolic saponins may help enhance free testosterone and improve libido. In a study of resistance trained men, those taking fenugreek extract showed increased strength and higher free testosterone compared to a placebo group. The mechanisms are thought to include aromatase inhibition, reducing conversion of testosterone to estrogen, and improved insulin sensitivity, which indirectly supports hormonal balance. It's not a miracle herb, but it seems to work best when paired with good training and sleep habits. 9. Nettle root, Urtica dioica. Often overlooked, nettle root may support hormonal balance in a subtle way. It doesn't increase testosterone production directly, but it may help by blocking SHBG binding to testosterone, making more of it available in free form. Additionally, some compounds in nettle root may influence aromatase activity, the enzyme that converts testosterone to estrogen. Though the effects are mild, this can be helpful for men with high SHBG or poor testosterone to estrogen ratios. Again, quality and standardization of the extract is key. Now let's get something straight. None of these supplements will do anything if your foundation is broken. If you're sleeping 4 hours a night, eating junk food, skipping workouts, and living with chronic stress, there's no pill that can reverse that. Supplements fill gaps. They don't replace discipline. But if your lifestyle is solid, they can be the extra 10 to 15% that help push your energy, mood, and hormonal health in the right direction. Lab testing matters. If you're curious whether something is working, don't guess. Get your blood work done. Total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, LH, and vitamin levels. Track it over time. That's the only real way to know what's working for your body. And finally, quality over hype. Too many products on the market are underdosed, untested, or just junk. Look for standardized extracts, third-party testing, and clinical dosing. More is not always better. Often, less and smarter wins the game. So, we've now explored 9 key supplements, from essentials like vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc, to herbs like ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali, and more nuanced options like boron, DAA, fenugreek, and nettle root. Each has a place, if used wisely with the right expectations and in alignment with a healthy lifestyle. No hype, no wild claims, just evidence aware advice laid out clearly. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with a friend or someone who might be looking for clarity in this noisy space. Because aging doesn't mean fading, it means learning to support your body with wisdom.